Basically, the Stop Operation Soros Macedonia is a group of activists who have been working on this matter for years back. We include journalists, historians, commentators from the conservative side of the Macedonian political spectrum. And for years we have been warning the American public, the Macedonian public, on the dangers of the activities of the Foundation Open Society in Macedonia. It's an enormous, sprawling NGO sector, which is essentially a state within the state. We have prepared a report which details their activities, organizations which have been funded not only by George Soros in Macedonia, but have received funding through USAID, unfortunately. So basically this is American taxpayers' money going toward the funding of this organization. For a long time, being a democratic country, we have tolerated this activity, but lately it has become unacceptable in the sense that this organization has affiliated itself with political parties, but also with former intelligence officers from the old communist regime who have organized a campaign of trying to bring down the government of Macedonia, a conservative reformist government which has enjoyed popular support for over a decade, essentially. Their actions included violent protests, attacks on the police, beatings of police officers, intimidation campaigns against all, differently thinking individuals with slogans such as "TikTok, you're finished," and even the Black Lives Matter chant, "No justice, no peace," has made its way toward the Macedonian streets during these fights and attacks. We have acted toward the U.S. Embassy in Macedonia and toward the USAID organization, the International Development Organization, which has unfortunately given tens of millions, likely. We're still trying to get to the actual overall number, but it's easily in the tens of millions, to the Foundation Open Society. I mean, only two major grants are about 14 million in total, not to mention a number of smaller grants. This money, which come from the US taxpayers, have been used to fund far-left organizations, organizations which would be out of the mainstream in the US, which promote abortion, which promote progressive taxation, progressive economic policies, rigid labor law rules, redefining the family structure in Macedonia. They have been used to promote stories from Macedonia in international media which are false, speculative, which blame conservatives in Macedonia for all sorts of things which are not true, including even that the Conservative Party in Macedonia organized an attack on the country, basically attacked itself or wiretapped their own phones. Essentially, one of the allegations is that conservative government ministers were wiretapping themselves. I mean, these are blatantly untrue speculations which have been promoted in media outlets across the world with the use of the diplomatic network of the United States, which unfortunately during the Obama administration has coordinated its activities with the Foundation Open Society in Macedonia. This is why we are hopeful that the new administration, with the changes in the State Department and in the USAID management, is going to put an end to this. I mean, there is absolutely no reason why American taxpayers would give money to a multi-billionaire who has been promoting radical policies in Macedonia for decades. There is no reason why US taxpayers will continue to fund organizations which support opening the borders of Macedonia and with it of the whole of Europe toward the Middle East with unforeseeable security consequences which will ensue. There is no reason why US taxpayers would fund a multi-billionaire who has a parallel diplomatic service in Europe and across the world, who has parallel foreign policy goals, and who pushes for centralization of Europe, abolishment of nation states, abolishment of nations even, and national identities. These are some of the things we have been faced with here, and this is something that needs to end immediately. We cannot endure another 4 years of this type of activities of US government funding for Soros activities in Macedonia, and this is why we're doing all we can to inform the American public of what has been done here and the need to put an end to these activities immediately.